One of Disney's most beloved and successful animated films of all time, The Little Mermaid, has been adapted for the stage and is just opened at the L'Enfantine Theater. Guiding the show along is esteemed opera director Francesca Zambello. The score features all the classic songs from the film, which were composed by 8-time Academy Award winner Alan Menken and his partner, the late Howard Ashman, and 10 new songs written by Mr. Menken and Glenn Slater. The production features a book by Pulitzer Prize winner Doug Wright. We caught up with them and the cast, which includes Sherry Renee Scott, Titus Burgess, Sean Palmer, Norm Lewis, and Broadway newcomer Sierra Boggess, who's making her debut as everyone's favorite mermaid, Ariel.
It's been a joyous experience. It's been a 3.5-year process from when I met Tom Schumacher. We were joking about it the other day. We had our first dinner over sushi just 3.5 years ago. And most people, I don't think, realize it takes 3 to 5 years to make a musical. It's a long process. And so the development through creating the work, all the additional new material, and then, of course, finding the visual language, the movement language has all been a big process, a big challenge, and one that's been very, very gratifying.
So what has the last month been like for you during your extended preview period to opening night?
Well, in a funny way, the last month was actually the easiest month because we froze the show just before Christmas. So it's really been letting the performers own the material now and giving it to them. So the last month, in a way, has not been the most stressful. There have been more stressful months earlier on.
I would say being entrusted by Alan Menken to work on material that he's lived with for 20 years and that's so beloved by so many. And so it was really a treat. I've been feeling like an 8-year-old kid for the last 6 months, and it's made me feel like one of these guys, and that's a really welcome thing.
Congratulations, welcome home. Good to see you guys. Take a wave. Give a high five.
I think the language of the show was great for me to do, to have different language, to find these shoes that you can dance on. And the company are just so talented, and it's just making it your own, making it more fluid, and not having wires or water was a big thing. So to have these shoes, which are Heelys, which we call Mermaids, with these brilliant instrument we had. So hopefully it worked. Keep my fingers crossed.
What was the easiest part of the show to make dance, and what was the most challenging for you?
The most challenging was Under the Sea, because not everybody were dancers. I only have 4 dancers in the show. But the whole company had to learn to dance and then put the shoes on and balance completely different. So that was the most challenging. The easiest thing is the smaller numbers with Ariel on her own. She's just beautiful. The duet with Ariel and Eric, One Step Closer, was a real joy for me to do.
A dance is like a conversation, except you never need to make a sound. And once you've begun, you speak as one, give and take, back and forth, round and round.
It's been, Alan is such a glorious composer, and to be able to have the opportunity to step into Howard Ashman's shoes, very big shoes I might add, and help burnish this jewel in the Disney crown has been such a wonderful experience. With Alan, you always know you're going to get a gorgeous sounding song, so a lot of pressure on me to not fall down on my end of the deal, but I'm very happy with the way it's all turned out.
Glenn is a perfect foil, perfect complement to Howard. Has a similar intelligence, a similar ability to reach the zeitgeist of our culture in terms of the smartness of his lyrics and the it's just his sense of craft is I think on a par with Howard's. Now, nobody is Howard Ashman, and there is nobody who can replace him. But I really felt most proud about the seamlessness of the score and the way we were able to protect the original 7 songs and keep them up front and still create 10 other songs that are able to be the glue between them and I think equal them.
How proud would Howard have been tonight to have been here at this opening?
I think Howard would have been pleased. I think he would have been proud. I think he would have had other ideas here and there. You never knew what they would have been. And I never will know what they would have been. But I've always feel that angel on my shoulder. So I think he would be pleased.
It's not my first Disney Prince, but it's actually, I have to say that I don't feel like there's shackles to being a Disney Prince or any other. It's the story, and it's a fantastic story. And if you really look at the literature that it comes from, it's such a beautiful story about, the growth process and finding yourself and establishing your stance outside of your family. I mean, there's just a wealth of things to mine from this material, and I think that's where that's our responsibility every night, is to go and find that stuff. So whether it's Disney or not, I'm glad that that audience enjoys it, but I don't feel restricted to being a Disney Prince. I think it's just it's storytelling like anything.
Well, I guess my look is it's very kind of uptight, buttoned up, and I suppose it's really the only one of the few costumes in the show you can actually tell what period we're in. It takes place sometime in the early 18th century, so it's, they sort of used me in that way, I guess, that character.
One of my daughters and her daughter are coming to see it in July. I've already booked tickets, so I guess I'm confident.
Well, I know it's sold out, but you know the director, so you'll get tickets.
Oh, honey, I'm never going to worry about that. I'll call Mother Disney and say, oh, please, Mother Disney, help me, help me. But I am so proud of every one of those cast members. Richard, they are all fabulous. And Sherry Renee Scott, bang on. Bang on. Alan Menken did such a good translation of Ursula from being up on a screen to being in the theater. That's different, Richard. In the movie house, the camera is the verb and does all the action for us. In the theater, the poor actors have to do all of that, and she is everybody in the cast is fabulous, but I was, of course, looking out for her moves because I wanted to see how she was going to do. She did great.